woman, I believe it actually is just out, who have not only inspired me, but let me into their community by taking action. And it's Martha who puts on these sober events that are absolutely amazing events to be a part of and really get connected in the community. And they don't shove one way of recovery down your throat or anything like that. It's just being accepting of all, but putting yourself out there to experience these new life events and how you can help other people. That's where I've really gotten all the support and all the action at is putting myself out there. So with Plugged In Recovery, we've just started a podcast. The website is really going to be the bread and butter, which is taking a lot more work and a little bit more money than I could have imagined. But it's in the process, and it's going to be a resource for not only people to find information about the disease and things like that, but find a center and a place that's right for them, that fits their needs, whether they're gay, straight, bi, suffering from dual diagnosis, addiction, whether it's trauma, what it is finding a place that's right for them. And that's really my goal of that aspect. And then to have things like a podcast like you're doing right now, and which is so commendable, just putting yourself out there and meeting new connections and networking like this, because you never know whose story you're going to be able to use and what resource you're going to be able to place in somebody else's life. But really just getting outside myself, because like I said, my disease wants me locked in a room with myself where it can go to work on me. And by getting myself out there, putting myself out there, getting uncomfortable, that's really how I battled my disease. And I can help other people in the same time. And that's really the magic of my program. And my program doesn't look like everybody else's program. That is for dang sure. But what I'm doing is working for me and seeing it really help other people, whether it's getting a message on Facebook or a private message on Instagram of changing somebody's day, or hey, I'm going to detox this weekend. You've really inspired me. That's really why I do this thing. And again, it's nothing that I had to do with. It's the people around me. It's the support network and trying to pay that forward. I'm just really working at trying to stay one step ahead of my disease. And again, it's by the people, the support around me, and the faith that I have in a power greater than myself that has done that. But yeah, with Plugged In Recovery as a whole, I really just wanted to be a resource for people to get the right treatment, to get the right help, to whether it's when they get out of their sober living, whether they get out of treatment, they have a community that's already there for them. They can connect with people they maybe went to treatment with, or they can connect with people who are back in the part of the country that they're going back to, and keeping that support and network alive and finding like-minded individuals who are on the right path as them and the same path as them. And maybe their recovery looks the same as them, because not everybody's recovery is going to look the same. And that's completely okay. There's not one way to do this thing. And that's just my belief. And I've seen it work for other people, but finding somebody else that is a good resource for them, that maybe struggles with what they're struggling with and can relate to them. The more networking, the more connections that we can make, and the more we can get out of that isolation where our disease goes to work on us and does its best work on us, the more successful I think we have a chance at being in this thing.
That's so great to hear, Wade. And I definitely think your community is going to continuously grow, especially from the people that follow me. I think it's great that we're making these connections, because we're joining our communities together to really speak about these issues. And you really can see that whether it's mental health or drug addiction or homelessness, a lot of these have a lot of correlating aspects, and they definitely do all go together. And it really shows that we need to be with each other to really create this change, and we can't get through this by ourselves. So before I ask you my last question, I just want to offer this time for you to speak about any powerful experience, story, or tip that you want to provide the audience.
My tip, I guess, and because I can tell you my story itself. If there's one thing I hope to be able to share with other people, it's that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help. The sooner you can get to that point, the sooner of a chance you have at accepting help from powers that are greater than you, whether that be other people, whether that be communities, whether that be on a spiritual side. But I can just tell you the wonders and the things that this program and getting help and finally making that first step has changed my life to today is absolutely incredible. It's literally crazier than I could have ever imagined in my wildest dreams. And is life perfect? Absolutely not. I tell you what, when you get sober and you start working through some of these things, you're going to go through some tough times and adversity, and that's life. But being able to know that you can get through that with a support system, you don't have to deal with it in your head alone. You don't have to be alone anymore, whether you're surrounded by people and still feel alone or not, is so incredible. And if you are struggling, ask for help. There's other people who are going through exactly what you're going through. It's kind of a paradox, for instance, of, it's you're not alone and no one's going through. No, all people have already been and experienced pretty much what you've experienced in one way, shape, or form, and you're going to be able to find people that you can relate to, who can help you, and who can hold your hand through this process. But at the same time, as soon as you get out that other side, you are uniquely qualified to relate to somebody else that is maybe going through the exact same thing that you went through, and you're going to be able to help that person unlike anybody else can ever help that person, because you're going to be able to relate to them and understand what they're going through. And that powerful experience, whether it's getting a message from somebody on Facebook that says, I was going to kill myself and now I'm checking into detox, or it's just a person saying, hey, I really appreciated your post today. I was having a rough day. I can tell you what, like that filled up feeling inside, and realizing that, is it's just paying it forward. It's nothing that I did because I'm a drug addict. I'll sit in that room alone and sit in my self pity and sulk in it. But by making some small changes, accepting help from others, and moving forward, and then support works two ways, right? Like any kind of support beam or anything like that has 2 points, and so you got to put yourself out there to get it back. But by doing so, the gifts of this thing are probably better than your wildest dreams can imagine.
Thank you so much for that, Wade. I think that'll offer some great perspective and reflection for people to think about as they are going through their own recovery or really new lifestyle change approach to their own life. So my last question that I like to ask my guests is, if you were to be writing a book right now, what would the chapter be of your current present moment?
I think it would. I mean, my first, I think the ego side of me would like to say it's like the comeback, right? But really, I would say it's a new beginning, because that's what I really feel like. Not only sobriety, but recovery, what plugged in recovery, what my faith on a spiritual side, what my work life, being a better son, being a better friend, the relationships I have. I think it's a new beginning for me, and it's given me a new outlook on life and a new perspective on life. That the world doesn't center around me, and I'm sure glad it doesn't, and I'm sure glad that we don't get what we deserve in this life, because I either wouldn't be here or there'd be a lot worse things that I'd be going through. But I'd say I have a new shot at life, and it's one that I'm so incredibly blessed to have, and grateful for just the people I have in my life, the network that I've built, opportunities like this with you to share with other people, and meet amazing people in this industry and in different industries like yourself that are doing things to help other people. But it's a new beginning, because like I said, this is nothing that I really had anything to do with. I can't take any credit for it other than asking for help, taking suggestions, trying to do what I believe is the next right thing. But having a fresh start at life and a fresh perspective on life is something that I'm so incredibly grateful for. And I mean, it's like I said, it's beyond my wildest dreams, man. And that's just the fact of the matter is, it would definitely be called a new beginning, and one that I'm telling you what, 7.5 months ago, I would have never thought was possible, and never thought that I deserved it. Never thought that I had a shot in heck of getting it. I literally wanted to die, and to be at where I'm at today is I could never be happier, and more excited to wake up in the morning to do things that I would have never thought I enjoyed doing, working long hours at work, back in school, doing all these things that I never thought I would enjoy. But it's given me a new shot at life, and for that, I'm forever grateful.
I'm so happy to hear that, Wade. I truly have to thank you for sharing your story, sharing your perspective on drug addiction, mental health, homelessness. I think it's truly commendable to hear about your story and hear about how you changed such negatives within your life into such beautiful positivity. And you're not only helping yourself, but you're creating a vast opportunity for people to do the same and to help themselves. And it's honestly so great to see and speak with you today. I truly couldn't have asked for a better episode. It's truly been a pleasure. And we'll have all of Wade's links to reach out to Plugged in Recovery. So we'll be able to get you in contact with Wade, and you can follow all of his events and resources that he provides to everyone. So you'll be able to hear more about Wade and see what he is doing. So thank you all for listening today. This was the 6th episode of the Mental Insights podcast. And it's been a pleasure today, Wade. I just want to thank you so much again. I had a wonderful time speaking with you.
Absolutely, man. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for everything you're doing. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast. If other people haven't had a chance yet, listen to the ones before this one. Your brand's really doing a lot for this community. He's doing a lot. What I really respect of taking feelers out there for different ways that things are being done, and taking an all-encompassing approach, which I think is not only commendable but absolutely amazing. And it just shows that no matter where you are in life, age, any situation really, that it doesn't matter, and you can make a change and an impact. And I'm more than excited to share all of this and your other podcasts on my different platforms. And just excited to start this relationship and build it in the future, man. You've been absolutely great. And I just want to let you know how appreciative I am for the opportunity to be on here.